Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for coming. Can someone just put in the chat and make sure you can hear me because I'm on a new computer. So just want to make sure you can hear me. That would be useful. Anyone? Anyone? Please, someone. Can you hear me? You can hear me. Okay. EUA stop loss above 31. I know who you are. How are we, everybody? Good to see you again. It's been a while. I can't remember the last time I did one of these, and then quite a bit's happened since then, but here we are again. And for those newbies, there's a few newbies I can see on here, I think. Yeah, hello and welcome. Right, so what we do, those of you who are regulars will know, we're just basically going through I've shared my screen. We're going to go through all the markets that I generally look at and look at different time frame charts and any developments that are going on, just to reinforce what I'm writing in the reports every day. And we'll do it in pretty much in the order that we do the reports. So without further ado, is that what they say? Let's have a look at some charts. Brent crude, while I was away, got up to 46.50. I mean, prior to my break, beginning of August, it filled that gap from back in March, and it never really got going after that. We had 2 or 3 weeks of sideways. Then it tried to go higher, popped above the 200-day moving average at the end of August, but it wasn't for long, was it? And then we saw that big sell-off last week. Sell-off took us back to that last, probably, arguably the last really significant low there. From the end of June at around 39, just below 40. And last week, 39.31 was the low on the 8th, which was what day? I can never remember dates, to be honest with you. I'm a bit rubbish at that. The 8th. When was the 8th? I don't know. Anyway, I'm blabbing on now. Was that the Monday or the Tuesday? The Tuesday, and that actually held firm after that. 39.31 held firm. We had a 39.30 low on the 14th. Now, if you've seen my rantings about carbon today, about what's a double top, what's a double bottom, we can say, and this sort of backs it up, right? There was a low at 39.31 and another one at 39.30. What's the high between the two lows? 41.20. That is why I have highlighted 41.20 and made a bit of a fuss about it in this morning's report, because we have stayed above there, that has given a double bottom buy signal. Do you think first? And so, we've got a buy signal. 42.06 is the Fibonacci, the 38.2 retrace of that sell-off there. And so we can look for that next, and then maybe move to that 61.8 retrace there with a few other levels on the way up to think about. So that's looking quite constructive again after having after steadying the ship after that sell-off. Do you think for oil is best to chart continuous or chart each contract, as the contango is quite steep sometimes? I generally like to, that's a question I've had on the chat there, if you haven't seen that. I generally like to look at the continuation chart, but obviously there was some fair old amount of shenanigans going on over the summer that caused, the early part of the year, that left that a little bit fraught. I'd say, as a rule of thumb, continuation chart is my friend on oil contracts, and that's Brent crude, and WTI is, as per usual, fairly similar. Interestingly, the pullback that we saw, here's the whole year's range, right? 65 in January, down to 6.5 for the front month, active front month on that day in April. And the 61.8 retrace of that whole move is 43.05, which is where we've got to, and could never really get going above it over the course of August, and then we fell over. Where we found support, always had 36.07 highlighted as a key support level there, and that was where we bottomed out, 36.13 to 36.16, the halfway point of the year's range. MACD still says sell, but we have today, again, sort of thing, it's not so clean and clear on this one. If we're looking at the 30-minute chart, No, it's not clear at all. Hang on, what am I looking at? Getting above 38, getting above this area here, 38.45, 38.66, 38.92, all levels, and we're above all of those. So yeah, let's look for 40.64 next, and then that one there at 40.85. It looks like we have got some scope for further gains in that one. So to gas markets, and let's start with UK gas, shall we? UK gas broke channel support right there on the, I think that was last Tuesday as well, wasn't it? The 8th. Come on, give me let me tell me what day that was. The 10th, actually, so it was Thursday, wasn't it? But didn't follow through at all. 26.06 was going to be a support level, and that 26.40 level there, which is a Marabouzo line there, and a low a few days later. Strong support. What we've seen in the last few days is pretty constructive price action in that. And actually, we can take this channel off if we close above there today, which looks very likely we're going to. Monday's high was 28.65. Yesterday we opened above there, and the low was 28.67. So we held the gap. Nice. Yesterday's high was 29.45, and we opened right bang on that level today. 29.45 was the first trade, and then we went higher from there. So we're doing this gap thing. It's very nice. We can't see your CQG screen, just your desktop background. You can't see the screen. That's annoying. Maybe I've shared the wrong bloody screen. Let's try a new share, shall we? No, it should be all right. Oh, everyone, right. So it's just, right. So other people can, I'm afraid. I think it's Pete saying you can't see my screen. Pete, I think you're on your own because everyone else seems fine. Right, I'll carry on. Because right. So when we break, we've got this channel here and we broke it. And a channel support line that breaks can do one more job for you after it's broken, which is turn into resistance. Doesn't look like this one's going to. So tomorrow I am going, well, let's do it now. Let's do it live. Remove the trend channel. It's no longer any use to us. See you later. Right. So that's UK gas. And if we look at the weekly for UK gas, we can see that there is still, and I've highlighted this in the reports, and I don't know why it's there. Let's just change this quick. No, don't do that. I am having some issues here with bloody continuation charts, and that's not what we want, is it? Don't do that to me. F dot QUADC. Is that what we want now? Get rid of all the things. Oh, this is fun. Okay, you're seeing me straight up. We're back to where we want to be, are we? Yes. Now let's move you to there. 35.38 is the. Have we got the right continuation settings? Continuation, we don't want the closures equalized, and I'm not going to do that. Right. 35.38, I know what's going on here, sorry. God, goodness me, I'm having some right old fun and games here. Where's that weekly gone? Let's just do this. Right, sorry, let's just do the non-continuation chart for now. This is where I got 34.61 from. It's the 38.2 retrace. This is for the October only chart of the October 18 sell-off right down to July's low, and that's why I'm highlighting 34.61 as a level to watch, a retrace level to watch on the way back up if and when we make new highs, which is looking reasonably likely with the price action we've seen in the last few days. It's been pretty constructive stuff. Let's shift to Montel now and have a look at TTF. Similar looking chart. What was nice here was that low, we got down on this move to 1032, and I always had 10.15 to 10.25 highlighted as an area of support. It was that low there, and the 38.2 retrace again from an archer we're looking at of there to there. So this was always going to be an area of support, and we posted that little hammer there on Friday. And on Monday, I said, it's only a very small hammer. I'm not quite sure we should be taking too much notice of that. But obviously, we did take some notice of it because we've been rallying ever since. So, you know, Shows what I bloody know. But yeah, it's looking strong again. We're back above this trend line. So again, we can do the same thing. We're going to remove that trend line because it's no longer of any use to us. Yeah, after a support line is broken, it has one more use for you. Can it turn resistance on the retest? Answer is no in this instance. So we take it off. Done. While we're on Montel's on the Montel platform, which do some excellent charts, I've got to say, I quite like what they do around there at Montel. I like the cut of their gym. Let's look at German Power, which has again done some pretty neat and tidy stuff in favour of the bulls over the last few days. That was Friday. Last Wednesday, the high was 41.10. We opened on Thursday at 41.20. We only got down to 40.85 and then rallied. Friday's high was started at 41.70. Monday's open trade was 41.75 and we held it. We rallied. It's nice. We've got a nice support area. Maribuzo line turns out nicely on the intraday charts as well on that one. I think where's the report today? It is that one there. I'm hoping, yeah, this 42.15 to 42.25 area looks like a really good place for a nibble on the long side if we get that opportunity. We haven't really had it though. The lowest price we've seen today, 42.60. Buy the dips, German Power, we like it, we like it, we like it. Back to CQG to look at coal. I always say carbon until last on this one, just because I know there's quite a few people that come on looking at carbon, so I want to keep you engaged and keep you interested as long as possible. Now, right, coal. Coal has got big resistance here at 62.10. We've always been highlighting that for a very long time, ever since sort of start of the year, really. And we got up to 61.40 in July, and then sold all the way off back to here. Look at that. 53.35 was that low in June, and 53.35 was that low at the end of August, and then we rallied. Now when we kicked higher on, I'm still getting the dates wrong. That was calendar in front of me, really. Last Tuesday, when we kicked higher. Now a kicker signal is quite an interesting thing that actually I don't look at as much as I should. One of my old trainees used to talk about this a lot, and yeah, it's quite a nice thing. That closed quite weakly on Monday, but then the open on Tuesday may have trapped some of those bears and got us yeah, and instantly they've got to try and cover if they don't want to get to stay on that for too long. So Tuesday was a really strong day. Maribuzo was 56, closed above that 56.43 level again, which is this fib level. And we're still watching that fib level, and once we got above there though, and I gave the bulls benefit of the doubt on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, nice strong day, Friday, Monday, yeah, all right, that was Friday. Friday was a nice strong day. Little bit mixed this week. The 200-day moving average, we're back above there, and that's holding as support, but this gap and fib level around the 58.30 area is capping. So we need to get back above there so we can go on this gap filling forward, 59, 54, and then maybe have a go at 60, 65. They're the levels to watch. Challenge for the bulls in coal today. Get above 58.35 by the close and close above there. Get on with it. If you're trading coal, get on with it. If you're bullish coal, stop messing around. Coal. Carbon, E-rays, right, yes. Is this a double top? No, it fucking well isn't. And I'm really, anyway, I've had my little rant on social media about that this morning, and I seem to have got a few people going on it. It's not a double top. A double top is a pattern where you get two highs at the same price, and then if you then subsequently break the low between the two highs, you get a double top sell signal. That means we need to sell off through 24.82 before we get that sell signal. We're going to get a sell signal on that before then, because we've got a rising uptrend line. Okay, and that line is sitting today at 27.23. So, and even before we get there, I'll probably, if we see some bearish price action, some bearish candles, then I will consider the idea that we've hit resistance at 3080, and this is a huge bloody resistance. So let's not, don't be under any illusions whatsoever. If you look at a bloody monthly chart, it's just there, man. Look at it. Yeah, 2005, 2950, 2006, 3030, 2006, 3100, 2000, it's there, it's on the bloody chart. And I think this chart's done enough to prove what I have always bloody said about looking back at historical levels, which is it doesn't matter how far you have to go back, doesn't matter if it's a different world, look left as far as you can, because these levels can come into play. I think that's proof positive, and I'll stick to doing that, whatever anyone wants to tell me about whether I'm talking crap or not. So yes, we have got to within 2 ticks of we're back to the daily now, of that July high yesterday, and we sold off. But we had a Marabouzo score 29.43, and we didn't worry that yesterday. 29.51 was the low. That's why I sent out the update on carbon this morning, because I thought that it could be a really important open. So yeah, I sent that out. What we have seen today is a drop through that 29.43 area, and it was on decent volume. I think there was some sort of announcement out from the EU, wasn't there, this morning that prompted that. But we soon recovered it. Now, here's the problem. We've seen a little bit of weakness in the last half an hour, and we need to hold. We need a close above 29.43 tonight to stay completely bullish at that thing. If we don't, then a little bit more to be said, maybe a pull back to the trend support line, and we'll see what happens from there. So yeah, there's a little bit for the bulls and the bears in this one right now, but my overall skew, I always, and I was discussing this with a couple of you who are potential new clients that I see who are on the call, so thanks for coming. We're discussing this on Friday, how we sort of deal with the skew bar if you hit resistance and find sellers, and we have done that, but there's not enough on the candles yet for me to worry too much. I'm going to stay bullish of carbon, going to short-term bull. I always want to be bullish at a market high or bearish at a market low. Now that sounds slightly the wrong way around, but it isn't. It's exactly what I'm trying to say. I always want to be rampantly bullish when the market is at its all-time, when it's at highs, because we're trend following here. That's the best way to try and trade, or to try and analyze or trade the markets, is to follow the trend. So yeah, all right, resistance 30.80, but so far price action hasn't done enough to get me too concerned, and I'm going to stick with the bulls. And one day we will break above 31. And when that happens, we've got to start looking at where it could go to the upside. And if we look at one of these charts that I've been messing around with, the one is the one with the Fibonacci projections, right? Measuring using Fibonacci says to us, and this is quite interesting, this chart, that 31, I think 09 is the area, 3109 is an interesting level. If we get above there, 3303 is the next level, and then 3498, and then 3618. So they're the upside targets if and when we can do this. For now, it is a little bit in the balance, and someone's asking me on the 30-minute chart, does it look like a double top? Well, it looks like, yeah, I mean, it's a fair point. It's a good spot because we've got a high there and a very similar high there. And so, yeah, it did, but we broke below it and we're already back above it. So it's failed as a signal right there. This could be an interesting level, 28.83, if we see some weakness this afternoon. But obviously we have to wait till the close to see what today's candle is going to look like on the daily time frame. And that would be my key consideration, is where do we close tonight with respect to 29.43? And do I have a Henry Hub and JKM chart? I've been asked. Henry Hub, yes, we do. Yes, we do. And we analyse that. That goes out in the second report that you get every day. and Henry Hub is at times one of my absolute least favourite markets. I bloody hate this thing sometimes. But I tell you what, it's given us lately. It's behaving all right lately, actually. There's a little head and shoulders, and there's your neckline, and there's your break. We tried to go back up on that day, failed at the Marubozu, fell over, and since then, look, today looks like another failure to retake 2371 and 2.405. So actually, that's probably a one to be playing to the short side for now, and MACD agrees with that. JKM, no. If anybody can help me with that, I think has it got enough volume and volatility? Has it got enough volume and enough intraday data to be able to have a proper look? Please drop me an email if you think that's the case, and yeah, it's something I think would be interesting to try and look at. So yeah, let me know on that one, please, and we'll try and maybe next week if I can find some data, then yeah, happy days. Let's have a look at it. You know. So yeah, I think I've kept you long enough, and we'll call it a day there. Hopefully you got some value out of that, and you'll come back next week. And thanks for joining me in my plush new surroundings. I've got air conditioning. It's really exciting. All right, take care, everybody. See you later. Be good.